Yo, I'm Micks Mowers, Mower Man, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be working on this Viking lawnmower. It is a Viking MB655RS. The man James lives just down the road from me, actually, funny enough. His dad was given this mower, and apparently it leaks fuel. It's absolutely pissing fuel out. I think from the carburetor, I'm not too sure. But he says it's too good to give away, and can Micks Mowers have a look at it, see if he can't repair it, and give him back a nice working machine. So hopefully we can. So if you've got a lawnmower that's actually leaking out fuel out of a carby, then this could be the video for you. And hopefully by just a few tiny bits and pieces, we can get this lawnmower up and running and not leaking, which is more important. Before we get on, I've got a few parcels, one off my Amazon wish list and one off of a friend. The first one, Amazon wish list, has come in. Someone has sent me some black RTV silicone instant gasket maker, which is brilliant stuff. Got a little love letter here, and the love letter reads, very simply, love letter reads, from Will Hopkin. Thanks for your help with the gears on my Quocast. The adjustment you showed works perfectly. He had a problem with his cylinder mower where the cylinder gear and the intermediate gear weren't touching, they weren't meshing. And there's a little tiny 12mm bolt down the bottom on the intermediate gear. If you undo the little tiny bolt, you can slide the gear forward, do it back up, and then the gears then work, which then makes your cylinder work. So my mate Will sent me over some instant gasket goo, which is fantastic. That goes in the drawer, because if ever you're in a tight fix for gasket stuff, that stuff is absolutely fantastic as long as you let it set. So I've got that. Also, unfortunately, I didn't know, but my man Brandon over at BS Small Engines, he makes these type of lawnmower cable, dead man's cable release tools where you can use these to take the cable off. You can't get them in the UK until now. I found these on eBay and thought we were quite handy because Brandon's going to send me some of his own, but you know, it's quite pricey to send 2 or 3 bits of kit like that from all the way from Texas. So I found this seller on eBay. He sells them for about 3 or 4 quid a go, and I thought I'll buy a set. You've got 2 there, one slightly bigger than the other, and one which has got a twin one on it as well. I bought them, and then my mate Gabriel over at Gabriel's Garage also has a YouTube channel. He just texted me and said, Mick, have you just bought some cable tools off me? I went, oh, have you just recently bought some cable tools? I said, yeah. He said, you bought them off me. So one of my best mates didn't even know he made them. He's got his own little pan, which is different to Brandon, so they look very similar, but they are different. He's got little round handles on his, and he's made some cable tools. So there you go. Thank you very much, Gabriel, for letting me purchase some of your cable tools. Why don't you just give them to me? I thought we were mates. So that's that. And then the last one, got this all the way from America. My camera's a bit dirty, 2 seconds. Yeah. All the way from America. Got a t-shirt coming in the post. Had no idea. Extra large, just my size, in American sizes. There you go. And it is all the way from my very good friend, Henry Maworski, the Big Dog Repair Shop. He sent me one of his t-shirts. How cool is that? So that's mine, not Mrs. P's, not to be confused. So thank you very much, Hank. And don't forget, Hank, my friend Henry Maworski, I'll leave a link in the comment section and his little channel up on the screen now. He is just over nearly 750 odd subscribers. I'm trying to get my mate Hank over to 1,000 subscribers. So if you've not yet subscribed to my mate Henry Maworski, the Big Dog Repair, go and do so. I'm trying to get this man, he's like 110 years old. He deserves to get over to 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying my hardest to get him there. So stop what you're doing now and go over to Henry Maworski, Big Dog Repair. I'll leave a link in the comment section below. Just go and subscribe and let me know Micks Mowers has sent you. And go and watch some of his videos. He does some good videos, man. Go and support a bloke. It's free to subscribe, don't forget. It is free. Right, so thank you, Hank. That's good. I have a bit of a tied up this week. That I need to do. But before we get on, we're going to get on and do this, which is a 2000. What year is this? It's got to be getting on a bit in age, this one. 2013. But looks to be quite clean. A bit of rough on the side on the deck here, because that's where the fuel's been leaking. But in all fairness, hopefully we can get this lawnmower up and running. So that's that. So if this is your first time watching Micks Mowers and Mower Man, hit your subscribe button, whack the old bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll probably get some other video. And without further ado, let's get down and dirty. And let's try and get this Viking lawnmower to stop leaking fuel and get running. Right, so let's get on. So we're going to remove the air filter first off, and then maybe top cover, just so it gives you guys a bit more viewing pleasure, because at the moment you won't be able to see a great deal because it'll all be under all the plastic. So now I don't know whether or not they've actually had a little go at this or not. We shall see in a minute. Nothing worse than trying to fix something that somebody's already had a bit of a dig at. Let's try and remove some of this. It looks like it's had a full service. That air filter is brand spanking new. So that's good. Must be a catch on there somewhere. Maybe that white cover comes off first. Yeah, it do. Take the white cover off, and then I've got two, looks like Torx bits up there, here and here, just to remove the top cover. So let me get the top cover removed. That way you better see a bit more when I do a video on the carburetor itself. So let me get the two screws taken out. I'll be back to you. Right, so let's get on with it, shall we? I don't know if there's any fuel in here. I don't think there is, because if there was fuel in it, it wouldn't be leaking, would it? So fuel tank's bone dry. Let's just sample a bit of fuel in there, just to see if we can see what it's actually doing. He said it's pissing out fuel. So let's put a bit of fuel in. Get some of Micks Mowers' finest high quality grade fuel. Fill it up above the old line. That should be enough. Let that carby do its beeswax. See what it's going to do. I'll look inside. So at the moment, it ain't leaking. Let's just get a pump. Oh, it's not a primer, it's a manual choke one. Automatic choke, there you go. It's got automatic choke on it. Over the far side. It's got a new plug in there and all. So at the moment, I don't know about you guys, but it's not actually leaking any fuel. So I'm not quite sure what he's referring to there. I'll put a bit more fuel in. Let's put a bit more fuel in. There's another £55 worth. Let's put your cap on. Oh, there you go. Look, there you go. Now we've got the leakage. Right, okay, so it is actually leaking. So that's good. Let's just have a quick look, see what we can see. So finger up the top. Yeah, finger up the top, it's wet. And it's leaking out the top of here. Out the crankcase breather pipe. So what that's telling me is that the carburetor is not actually shutting off. We've got fuel absolutely everywhere. I will clean that up. Let that just finish dripping. The crankcase breather pipe's not actually on this machine, it's just floating out the back here, so that's not been connected. So we've got a serious problem with regards to the carburetor absolutely pissing out fuel, which is never a good thing. So let's remove the carby itself. I'm going to remove the throttle housing and throttle cable. We're going to remove that. That will start dripping in a minute, and we're going to remove that one there. Now, because this is actually leaking out fuel, but the crankcase breather pipe is not actually on it, that means we haven't filled the oil compartment up with petrol as well, so that's a good thing. Look at all this fuel, look, my lord. Now that's because the air box is full up. So it's absolutely smashing out of here. All right, let's take that off. Let's take all this off. Don't lose no bits. Take photographs as you go, guys. Remember what I say about taking photographs. But my mate Conker, you know what he's like. He never takes photographs. And he always says, I don't know where that bit goes. Where's that bit to, he goes. Where's that bit to? He can't even speak bloody English. Bloody carrot cruncher. He is a bloody carrot cruncher, he might tell you. He spends half his life down Sainsbury's in the vegetable department eating carrots and parsnips. Right, we're going to take that cable out of there. Put it out of the way. Right. So now we're getting somewhere. The automatic choke is actually working by the looks of it, so that's good. Although, saying that, is that going to come off choke? Yeah, it does. Right, that does come off choke. Lovely, right. Okay, I'll just make sure everything is in position so that when that auto choke does come off, I don't like that. That's better. Right. Now it's working. That was up in the air. So this is like a brand new carb to me. That could be flooding because the automatic choke's not working. It could be as simple as that. Now, the advantage is you can run this without the airbox. So that is an advantage. So next thing I'm going to do will be to remove the fuel pipe off of the side of the carb here. And then we've got some bolts to remove out the back there. They'll be 10 mils, or a Torx bit, one or the other. And then we can take the carburetor off, and we're going to do a leak bide test on the carb. Check, make sure that's working or not, and then we can go from there and try and clean the carburetor if it needs it. But let me get you resituated, and I'll come back to you, and we'll get this carburetor taken off. Right, so we're going to move on to get this carby off. Now, remove the fuel clamp there. Now this fuel has been plugged off with my hose clamp pliers, all right? So you haven't got them, you just empty your fuel out. Give it a bit of a twist and then just remove that fuel line. Check for any damages inside the fuel line there as well. Make sure we're not got no leaks from there. It will drain a little tiny bit out. Just going to prop up out the way so it doesn't lose too much fuel, because fuel is not exactly cheap. And then 8mm down the back here, or Torx bit, whatever you got. I'm just going to crack that off. Now just take photographs now, right, before you start to loosen this carby off. If you're not sure, just take a photograph of where all these bits is going, where the springs is going, and all that sort of good stuff, just so you know for later on. Now, if you haven't got a phone with you, I'll just come up here and just take a quick little screenshot of it like that so you can see. So there's your governor, right, there's your governor. There's your auto chokey over here, that's all as it should be, and there's your spring attached and what have you. So just double check, everything is as it should be, where it needs to be. Take a photograph so you've got the information. That's what I do, guys, right? I don't just go flat out into it like I'm someone from Cornwall. You know what I mean? I do take my time and try and make sure that we understand what's going on before we take it apart. This is absolutely leaking out fuel here. Right, so I'm going to remove this off now. Now this will all come apart in bits, right? You're going to have a carburetor, you're going to have the engine bolt, the carb bolts, you're going to have the auto choke, you have all sorts of stuff all coming out in a minute. And what's going to happen now is it just to fall on the ground, and you won't remember where the bits go. So just take your time. Right, so let's just try and remove this control panel first. That'll come off. There's a spring on there, so let's just remove that spring. So that control panel goes down there. There's a little tiny O-ring just fell out the back. See how quick you can lose stuff. There's a little tiny carburetor insulation block there. That's got to come out. There it is there. And there's an O-ring goes on the outside of that, which is probably expanded. Yeah, I don't think that's original. I think someone's been in here. Right, now I'm going to start to break down the carby itself and just having a look to see where bits go. Right, so we've got a spring up the top there. All right, so just take that off. I know that goes on the control panel later on, so put it to one side. Here you've got your auto choke just up and over to bring that auto choke one off. That can just sit up there on its own. And then that one goes up and back that way. And that will then give you the carby, he says, as he tries to manipulate this off. Come on, cupcake. Give it me. There it goes. Right, that's that one there. Right. So that's all your bits and pieces now off. Now take a photograph of where stuff is. That spring there, look. That spring there, that don't look right to me. That's been bent up and buggered up, innit? So that might have something to do with it later on. But all the auto choke seems to be working. That's choke on. That's off. So it might just be that this is not actually working because some of these cams are a bit worn. And it's not allowing that to come off choke. See that? See, that won't go on choke now. I don't like that. There you go, it's working now. I think that spring has got too much influence on what's going on here. I don't like that spring. Off choke. That's working now, but that definitely got caught up then, I see it. So good clean up on top here. Get rid of all the bits and bobs here that are all in the way and all the mucky bits. Get rid of all of that. And then we'll start to break this carburetor down. It's definitely leaking out the top. You can see all that fluid's coming out of there. That's where it's coming out from. So that tells me, hopefully, needle and seat is coming up through and it's not been able to shut off. So quick clean up. I'll come back to once I've got the carburetor resorted. And then we'll go from there. Right, carby now up on the bench. Let me just grab my impact. And I want to just take the bowl nut off of this carby so that we can sort of just see what's going on as to why it's doing what it's doing. I have my suspicions if someone's been in here or not. I don't rightfully know yet, but we're about to find out. It might become apparent very quick because this carby is just absolutely pissing out. So let's just loosen that one off. See what we get. What are we guessing? Needle and seat or no O-ring? O-ring's in place. Oh look, there you go. There you go. That's what happens when you have your needle in the bottom of a bowl, where as it should be, tied to the float. Look at that. So a needle was actually in the bottom of the bowl and not where it should be. See that bit there? That bit there belongs in there. Or as my friend Conk would say, that there belongs in there. That's what he'd say. Like you village idiot. Right, so what we're going to do is now, literally, we're going to grab that little tiny needle, right? And it's got a little tiny metal bit there. You see that metal bit here? That's just going to slip up and go straight onto there. Now, it could be that actually, I don't think it goes that way, Mick. You might do. Let's have a little look. I don't think it does though. Let's put it on there. See if it's sitting in there. Yeah, we like that. Right, so I think the float was on actually upside down. I can't remember now. I'll put that in there. Put that all in there. Like that. Right. Now, I'm going to get my little tiny gauge out, if I can find it. I did have it quite recently. So this gauge here, my friend Hank got me. Here it is. So now I'm going to do a little leak bite test, right? So now, hopefully, if it's all on as it should be. Well, that's a bit of a thick old pipe, Mick. I don't know if I can get that on there. We shall see. Oh yeah, it's going to go. Yeah, go on, baby. Stretch it over top. Bit of spit makes it go in. That's it. Right. So now let's have a little test. Oh look. Oh look. The carby is holding because there's now a needle inside the carb. So put your comment in the comment section down below, guys and girls. Was this carburetor leaking because the needle just fell out all by itself? Or had the fiddle fairies been in? I think the fiddle fairies have been playing. That's what I think. I'm pretty sure, without looking at my footage, tell me guys, was the float upside down? I think the float was on upside down. I think it was. So, I'm going to give the carb a little tiny clean. I don't actually know if the carb was dirty or not beforehand. There's a quick little clean. What we call over here in Bognor Regis a quick and dirty. Ask me why it's called quick and dirty. You can't beat a quick and dirty, especially if you're from the West Country. Do you know why it's called quick and dirty in West Country? Because they don't wash. Right. So the only reason I'm giving the West Country a lot of stick is because my mate Conker, right? You know my mate Conker Plonker? Well, he's just turned up, see, I'm talking to him in my earpiece. He's over, see, wave, Conker, wave. Conker, wave. He's over here, see. Here's my mate Conker. He's down here talking to me with my mate Pete. He's got no teeth in his head at the moment. He's waiting for new teeth. So, what we're doing, we talk to each other whilst we're working. It's great fun. And because Conker's from Carrot Country land, I'm giving him some stick. So, and because I'm in headphones, he's calling all sorts of names right now. And the vocabulary is quite stretched, but it's what I would expect from him. Right, so continue cleaning. Everything where it needs to be, but now we know the reason why this carby wasn't shutting off, and that's purely because the needle wasn't sat in where it was, and I think it was because the float was actually upside down, and that's why it's just balanced on there. Let's just put that back on again. So I just want to test that leak bite one more time. This tool, my mate Hank from Henry Maworski's Big Dog Repair Shop. Remember, go and subscribe to him. He sent me this free of charge. Right, 5. And it's holding, look. Holding lovely. Not dropping. Beautiful. So we have a good, solid working carb now. So I'm happy with that. So, Quick inspection of the O-ring. There's a little tiny twist in just there, but that should be fine. We should be okay. Condition of bowl looks to be quite good. This has been worked on. I said that earlier on, didn't I? Someone's been in here. Right, so now we're gonna put that back down on the top here. So this is going to be the front of the carb going that way, and on it about there. Well, now I'm just going to put that down. Now I'm not going to use my impact. That's something you would do if you was from the West Country. What we're going to do is we're just going to use a little tiny ratchet and socket. I can find it up here. Can't copy in West Country, boys. You're born stupid. Right, so Mate Congo's giving me stick. Right, just going to do it nice and don't go too mad now because you'll snap that. Right, that's on. Right, now I think all being well and good, that should now be good to go, because what will happen is that float will come up and then that will push against that needle, and then it'll shut that fuel off. So it won't allow no more fuel through. So hopefully we're there. Right, quick, simple, easy, little tiny fix. But somebody's definitely been in there. That's what I reckon. Let's put it back together and then we'll go from there. Right, so it's putting back together time. Now, all you've got to do is do it in reverse order of how it come off. But obviously that was 5 minutes ago, so I've already forgotten because I've got the attention span of a West Country person. So what we're going to do is we're now going to put that onto there. That goes up and over. It is a bit hard to get in there, but it will go. Yeah, it is a bit taut in there. It will go though. It will go. I will make that fit because that's where it belongs. Even if it means just running a little tiny drill in there. But someone has been in here. It goes right. That's in. Right, that's that one. And then we've got this one here, which will be, that's round the way, Mick. It goes round. And that way, Mick. That's it, right. And then that one there, that one goes in that hole at the top here. So tip forward, find the hole, tip forward, in and on, done. A little wire there, be careful, a little wire. And don't forget you've got a spring to go on as well. Remember that little tiny spring I had? Here it is here. Here's a little tiny spring. I had a little tiny spring, remember? That's got to go on there first. Put it on there now, because you'll never get it on there later on. Be an absolute pig. That's on there. You've then got your control panel. That's going to go that way like that. Now my switch has just come off, but it's not the end of the world. We can fit it later on. That cable's just come off of there, and that cable here will just fit inside this little tiny groove, just a little tiny hole just inside there. Okay, right, we'll do that in a minute. In fact, I can do it now actually. Just literally just push that tab down, and then just push that bit of wire in the hole like that, and then just bend that up to stop it from coming back out. Like that. That's in. Right, that's got to go that way around. Put a bit of spit on it. That always helps, of course. That goes around like that. That's all going to there. Now you've got that little tiny spring to go on in a minute. That little tiny spring, that's got to go onto this little tiny plate here. But first we've got a little tiny carburetor insulation joint, a block that sort of go into the carby. That sits on. And that'll all go onto there. That's all looking good. And you've got the O-ring to go on as well on the back of that. And that's got to go onto there. So it's all just about stacking these bits up, getting it all to fit. You've got to play about with it a little bit, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not always as easy as I make it look. Because I do have fat fingers, and I do suffer with what we call fat finger syndrome. All right, so that's all going to go on there. Just got to try and gently nestle this O-ring in between the metal plate and the carb insulation block, because that'll stop the air from being sucked in and what have you. That's all will go in. Once I've got it roughly in position, I'll close it all up, and when I'm happy with it, I know where it's going to be. It's going to be about there. I'm quite happy with that, and that's it there. So that will now go back on. I'm going to put my carburetor bolts in. That'll sandwich it all up nice and tight, so it all goes where it needs to go. Once you get it started, then you'll be away. Just going to remove the 10mm socket. Now some people, especially older people, you tend to use studs, like my mate Conker. He uses a stud, and he'll make a comment later on in the comment section about, oh, I like to use studs, but the Briggs and Stratton ones already have studs anyway, so it's sort of a given. He just said to me in my ear, why don't you just use 2 studs? Well, because you put bolts on the Briggs and Stratton, that's not like the Hondas. Right, so let's just shut him up, innit? Right, let's just run that on him. Just get him started, just so it holds it all together. Because don't forget, we've got that little tiny spring that goes around the back here. So just get the other bolt first. And start that one off. You love mates who know it all. He's a bloody know-it-all and all. Cool. You normally find it from people from West Country, don't you? You know it all. Well, my combine harvester is better than yours. Yeah, whatever. If I said I've got 25 acres, he'd say you've got 30. Right, I've got to try and line all this up. It's just a bit fiddly, guys. But once you get started, it'll start to bite its way in. Right, that one's going now. Just going to remove this other one here slightly, because it's just, what it's done is just caught the spring off that back end of that carb bolt. So I'm just going to remove that very quickly with a pair of long nose pliers, or as they call them down West Country, toenail pliers. That's what I use for doing my toenails. My mate Conk's beginning to wish he never rang me today. I won't let up now. Right, so let's nip these ones up, and then we'll put that spring on. Now don't forget, at the moment my fuel is actually turned off. All right, I've got it plugged off. So I'm going to nip that up. That's all the way home. One the other side. Nip it home. And just went click. I'm hoping no one's done no damage in here. Right, that's up tight. Right, so that little tiny spring now, that's got to go on the back end of this arm just here, all the way over onto there. So onto this one, so up and over onto that arm, all the way at the back, over both, front and back, and that's on like that. Right. We're now going to put the fuel pipe on, and we're now going to hook up the fuel hose clamp, and then let the fuel go. Now hopefully, all being well and good, if we've done a good job, that shouldn't leak. I'll dry it all off first. There's a little bit of fuel coming out the top here now, just where it was all been sprayed up beforehand. So I'll wipe that off. Leave that there. We're going to sit and watch this now just for 2 minutes, just to make sure everything is as it should be. Still don't like that spring, Mick. I don't like that spring at one bit there. I'm going to straighten that up. I think someone's been in there. That's better. See that? See, that's not coming back. Yeah, it's not moving that cam back. I think that's why someone's put a bit of a knot on that spring there. So we'll go with that just to try and hook that spring back a touch. I think that spring was being used to force that cam back. He's lost a bit of his tension. Let's just do what they did for now. Oh, my shoulders went crunch. Look him over. I'll probably do a new spring, but I'll advise him of that. Oh, that's better. Off. Oh, that's better. Right, now it's working. Right, so as you can see, that's been sat there for 2 or 3 minutes, still fuel in this tank, and we've got no leakages, bone dry. So, hopefully it's now fixed it. So what I'm going to do now is now going to put the rest together. So before we do anything, I'm just going to empty this out, make sure there's no fuel inside there, because what would happen is this pipe here, of your positive crankcase breather pipe, that wasn't actually connected, right? But it was pissing out of there. So before I do anything with this machine, I'm going to just check the oil level, because if the oil level is higher than what it should be, then it'll be pouring oil into the crankcase, so that's no good. Right, this goes on now. So that bit there, right, that goes onto there. That's the first job to do. Put that bit onto there, so it fits. Right, get it on there. Once that's fitted, we can then sneak that round. That's all got onto there. Where's the holes? There. We've then got a couple of bolts to put on. One there, and another one there. Put them on. Where's my little tiny ratchet I had? Here it is. 8mm. Just gonna lube them up there. Put them onto there. Still not leaking, guys, which is good. Good sign. Nick him up. Nick him up. Bring the cable in. I'll bend that into position. Might wish I did that earlier on, but we'll see how we get on. There it goes, that's on. One more bolt to put in there with a little tiny aluminium plate. I have seemed to have lost for the moment, but I will find it down over it. Right, that's what I've got there. Now you can see roughly where the old one used to be, but there's no telling at the moment, so we might have to find a new new place for it. So let's just set this up so that we're about right. Bend that. Just want to bend that little tiny arm just up a smidge, just so it's a bit of travel. That's better. I'm going to nick that up just gently, just for now, because I want to just set this throttle up. All right, so I'm now just going to set the throttle. So this will be full throttle, right? And that'll be full idle. So come all the way back here, back to there, and hold the cable. That's full throttle. Sorted there. So it should be somewhere there. We can always adjust it later on, right? So let's just nick that up. Hold him into position. Sorry about jogging the camera, but you're right in the way. Because you guys like to be nice and close. I always get a message come up saying, oh, I couldn't see. Couldn't see, too far away. Normally a West Country boy saying that. Right, there you go. There's a throttle. All working now, as it should do. So happy with that. And then the last couple of bits to do, put on a brand new air filter. Just smell that. It doesn't smell petrol-y, so that's good. And we've got this air box cover to go on. That'll go on there like that. 2 screws to put on there. Then the top covers to put on. All that sort of good yummy stuff. And then we're good to go. So let me get the top covers put on. I want to check the oil first. As I say, if your oil is over full, then very simply remove all the oil from the engine. Okay, because what's possibly happened is that your fuel has overfilled into the crankcase breather and gone into the bottom of the engine. Now, as the crankcase breather wasn't on, I don't suspect that's happened on here. However, you've got to check it. If it all does smell of petrol, look watery, or is excessively high, dump it, get rid of it, because it's probably petrol in there, and just put oil in there, okay, and then you're good to go. So let me get all this top cover sorted out, put them on, go from there. My mate Conker still giving me jip down there. His old big head, look. Oh, he's head like a pumpkin, look, isn't he? There he is. There's Pete, look. Pete, give us a smile with your teeth in. You're not teeth yet. We're getting it all done, get you out on the lawn, and we'll go from there. Right, so now the Viking's all done. No leaks. I have checked the oil. Now, I made a mistake earlier on. This dead man's handle is not a dead man's handle. It's actually part of the rotor clutch, which we hide underneath here, okay? Right where you don't expect to see it. So I'll put it up here somewhere you can see it. I'll hide it down here. So, the reason I thought that was because the cable was missing, and obviously the dead man switch is on the front, which is controlled off the throttle. So that's why I was a bit confused.com there. Anyway, sorted now. So it's got a rotor clutch. So hopefully the rotor clutch will work as well. I don't actually know if this boat has this running or not. I don't know. So we'll see. So now it should start. I've checked the oil. That's all good. And then rotor clutch. Lovely. And drive. There you go. Does it stop? And cuts out. So I had to adjust the marker switch too. That wasn't cutting out. So that's it all done. And this come to me all because somebody had tried to put the carburetor, give the carburetor with a clean. Somebody hadn't put the needle and float, I think, up around the right way, and the needle just fell out, and the needle's in the bottom of the bowl. So that's the reason why it's flooding. So now we're good to go. The machine now runs, starts, stops, drives, rotor clutch all works as it all should do. Happily, James would be as happy as Larry. Right, so there you go. Quick little video on your Viking mower. Hi, Pippi. Here, come here. What you up to? You up to no good? You up to no good? Yes. Hopefully that video may have helped you out. If it did, give us a big thumbs up and subscribe to the old channel. That way you'll be notified next time I upload a video. Lawnmower fixed because, yeah, definitely somebody had been in there, without a doubt, hadn't they, Pippi? Someone's definitely been in there. Yes, probably Pete Frowdy, not he's like. Someone's been in there and the needle had fallen out. Now, there's no way that needle can fall out unless the float was upside down. So I'm pretty sure, thinking about it, I think the float was upside down. I won't know until I review the video myself. But I think the float was upside down. That's why the needle fell out, and the needle fell out, which meant the carburetor then started flooding. So now that all now runs, starts, stops, does what it should do. The rotor clutch all works, the drive all works, and yeah, good to go. So hopefully James will be happy. And I think it's actually his granddad's, I think, or his dad's, one or the other. And they've now got a lawnmower, which all runs. It's fully serviced already, so that's good. And yeah, should do them for quite a good number of years. It's a nice machine, nice and light, and they work quite well. So there you go. All done, Pip. What do you reckon? Should we go indoors? Cup of tea, bit of chicken, maybe a biscuit. We've just eaten there. That is a choke button off of a KM94 you just chewed up there. Fortunately, it's already broken. You're not having it. Right, so that's done. I need to get back up in the house before Riley boy turns up because he'll be home from school very shortly, and he'll want to go and sit in the hot tub for about an hour with his dad. So me and Mrs. P have been down the gym for about 4 or 5 weeks on the bounce now, and taking Pip for nice long walks every single day. I've lost about 16 pounds so far, so that's good. Can you tell? Can you notice? I doubt it, but I have. I lost about 16 pounds. So that's good. Mrs. P's doing well as well. She's lost about nearly half a stone, I think, so she's doing very well as well. Pip's putting on weight because Nana keeps feeding her biscuits. But that's sort of counterproductive, really, Pip, but there you go. That's what it is. So good. So thank you very much for watching Micks Mowers and Mower Man, and I look forward to see you girls and guys next time. Micks Mowers very, very soon. But don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.